On the 1st of January 2014, Ricard Syajan would create his first video. Over the next 2 years, Ricard's uploads would showcase his love of art and tattooing, but that would all change on the 8th of January 2015, when Ricard would post a video titled Shay Fatal Insomnia, Neurotoxin-Induced CNS, Seeking Neuroscience, Hospital Support or Stem Cell Hope. In this video, Ricard would begin by asking for help with a health condition he had been suffering from, which he described as total insomnia, stating he had not slept properly for over 4 months.
I have not sleep. Means I have total insomnia. Sleep disability. Right now it's already 4 months. And this is not sleeping difficulties. This is not regular insomnia. So it's been 4 months and my body is deteriorating right now.
Ricard would go on to say in August of 2015, while he was living and working in Philadelphia, he contracted a urinary tract infection. As he did not have health insurance, he couldn't see a doctor and instead told his boss about the infection. Ricard's boss would then offer him antibiotics he had been given but never used, as he was aware they could be used for a UTI. Ricard accepted these antibiotics and started taking them. After the first day, Ricard felt better, but after the second night, he started to suffer from heart palpitations, headaches, back pain, and his hands started to become crooked and bent like a claw. Though he was feeling this way, he did not see a doctor or go to the hospital because he didn't have insurance. Instead, he decided to finish the entire course of antibiotics, as he was aware that when prescribed them, that's what you're supposed to do. Over the next 2 weeks, Ricard would take the remaining 28 tablets, and though he was having trouble sleeping, he believed it was due to either the UTI or antibiotics, and this symptom would soon be resolved. While this was happening, Ricard would receive a call that his mother was ill and fly back to his home country of Indonesia. Once in Indonesia, he would finally see a doctor and tell them he was unable to sleep after taking these antibiotics. The doctor would prescribe him with sleeping pills, which Ricard said only helped him get up to 2 hours of sleep per night, and this sleep was usually riddled with nightmares. Though aware that there were negative effects associated with the long-term use of these pills, Ricard would continue to take them because he had no other choice. He would say it was a neural issue, and that when his body is tired and tries to communicate with his brain to sleep, it doesn't happen because his brain is continuously active. When he nears the point of potentially sleeping, there is a physical feedback from his neurons trying to communicate with his brain, which he describes as an electric shock around his spinal cord. He would go on to film several videos to show what actually happens to him when he gets close to falling asleep. Ricard would also say he knows the lack of sleep was breaking down his body and would lead to his eventual death. While pleading for help from any country or doctor with advanced medical knowledge and equipment capable of potentially fixing this, he goes as far as to say he would even trade both his legs for just 3 hours of uninterrupted sleep.
Let me give you one sample of how desperate I am for sleeping right now. I will give away, this is just comparison, I will give away my 2 legs from my thigh, cut it, take it as an exchange for sleeping, even though 3 hours a day. That's how desperate I am. If I can sleep for 3 hours a day or more without any drugs, that's how I will appreciate life without any, even though I don't have my leg, I can have my hand for wheelchairs and stuff, and I can use my eyes to work. I still have hand and everything. So
after this video, Ricard would post a few more videos of his art and more videos in Indonesian, some titled God and Anki quotes and another on conspiracy. On the 21st of January 2016, 13 days after his initial plea for help, Ricard would make another titled Shay, My Condition, Relentless Insomnia, Need Financial Help for Last Hope Therapy. Again, he tells his story and mentions that the sleeping medication he is taking is no longer working. Ricard would go on to say he would be a test subject in any study that may help him no matter the risk. and he would be willing to sign a waiver stating he accepts any risk to himself because he knows he will die if he doesn't receive help. Over the next few months, Ricard would post a few short videos showing more of what happens to him when he tries to sleep. By May 23rd, he would post a video showing his skin flaking as the cells start to die, and name the antibiotic and company that caused his fatal insomnia. That antibiotic would be fluoroquinolone, and the German multinational pharmaceutical company Bayer. A quick Google search of this antibiotic will show you how dangerous it actually is, which I'll get back to later in this video. Ricard would attempt to create a campaign for help, but the link to the campaign is no longer active. In a video posted on the 3rd of November 2016, he would continue to try and find any way to get treatment for relentless insomnia, but his condition is noticeably weighing on him.
So this is my last hope, because if not because of my son, no, I'm giving up already. I'm already giving up now. It's just I cannot do it. I cannot kill myself. I'm not good with killing myself. If I do, I'm already done. So for this, I try to find even 1% of hope.
He would continue to post more short videos as examples of the effects of his fatal insomnia and others in Indonesian. These would be followed by 2 more videos titled Message to Neurologist, which is more of him describing the symptoms but also reveals something tragic. While living in America, he didn't have healthcare, so he had to decide between paying rent or seeing a doctor, which led him to take the pills offered to him by his boss for the suspected UTI. But while in Indonesia, he found out that he never had a urinary tract infection. His problem was actually an obstruction of his bladder neck, which could have been treated by inserting a catheter. On the 27th of November 2016, Ricard would post a video titled, What is God? In it, he likens the God from the Bible as a leader and their followers as workers, and speaks on the God Enki, who is our creator, and we as humans are just clones of him. It would be on the 4th of December where the signs of his mental decline become really apparent when he posts a video titled HIV Fact, where he goes on to say HIV was created by the mafia. On the 4th of December 2016, Ricard would post his final video, which when translated from Indonesian is titled Bending of Law by Government and Lawyers. This would be the last time we would hear from Ricard, as it's believed he passed away shortly after. While Ricard is remembered on the internet as someone who faced an incredibly rare and horrific mental condition, he was also father to a son who he loved very much and had dedicated an entire separate YouTube channel to. He was an artist with incredible talent and an interest in psychedelic art who made the mistake of taking antibiotics he believed would help him, not knowing how truly horrible they really were. This brings me to fluoroquinolone. In the United States in 2015, doctors handed out 32 million prescriptions for the drug, making them the country's 4th most popular class of antibiotics. You would think an antibiotic being prescribed so frequently would be relatively safe, but this drug has done horrible things to many people. So much so there's a term for those who have been affected by it. It's called being floxed. If you type it into Facebook or any other social media, you will see a number of groups created by people who have experienced negative symptoms. 22-year-old Mateo was prescribed Cipro, a branch of fluoroquinolone, to treat a UTI, and within 2 weeks he described the feeling as if a bomb went off in his body. Mateo now suffers from a multitude of different degenerative diseases, is losing his vision, and has become completely disabled, now requiring a wheelchair for mobility. He would also experience psychotic episodes and mood swings, and describes one instance, saying, "I had a psychotic episode where I thought that the government was reading my mind. I thought, well, they can't read my brain if I stick my head in the oven and melt my brain. Thank goodness my roommate walked in on it, and I had to go to the hospital right then." After suffering such drastic and severe symptoms, Mateo's primary doctor would eventually diagnose him with fluoroquinolone-associated disability. While I understand in Ricard's situation that taking antibiotics not prescribed to you isn't the wisest choice, I don't think there are many people who would believe an antibiotic would affect someone to the point of severe irreversible disability or death. The fact that this antibiotic had been prescribed over 32 million times in America in just 2015 is absolutely terrifying when you consider how many people have been affected.